Hello students, we are going to start new topic, that is Introduction to Web Services. This is continued from chapter 11 for class 12 computer science. In the previous topic we have learned so many network security concepts like so many computer threats, viruses, worms, okay. So many security concepts like how we can recover from these, how we can prevent from these types of viruses, worms, or hacking these things. We have to install antivirus softwares, firewalls we can apply. Okay, other so many techniques we have discussed in the previous topic. And we have also talked about IPR, intellectual property rights, say for example trademarks, patents, these things. And then finally we have learned what are IT laws and cyber crimes and cyber laws. Okay, about these things we have learned and we are well known about those things. Now we are going some further detail in terms of networking, okay, in terms of internet, in terms of working with computer connected with each other. Okay, so this here we are going to learn introduction to web services the topic. Okay, see, features of web services. Internet offers several important and extensively used features or services. Some of them are mentioned here. Internet, we know that internet is a vast network of networks and a huge collection of so many types of information and services. Okay, through internet we can send emails, we can talk with each other, video conferencing feature is there, audio conferencing is there, instant messaging feature is there. Okay, websites we can open, we can download files, upload videos, okay, pictures, websites. So many informations are collection of information in various ways, various modes are available. Okay, so we are going to learn more features or services available through internet in this topic. Okay, and what are those? Here we have listed here. First is World Wide Web, and then we will learn Hypertext Markup Language, Extensible Markup Language, XML, HTML, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP, then Domain Name System, DNS, and then Uniform Resource Locator, URL, IP address, website, web page, web browser, web server, web hosting. Okay, domain name resolution. So many names are there and confusing names which are having some similar words, okay, but all are different. So we are going to learn one by one all these things. Get ready. See, first we are going to learn World Wide Web, and in short we can say WWW, 3W. See, WWW or World Wide Web is a set of programs and protocols. Programs, we know, a set of instructions, okay, set of instructions to do some particular task, to perform some work on computer. We have to write programs. And protocols, we know that these are the rules, these are the techniques, these are the ways through which we can communicate with one another using computer, using internet. Okay, then WWW is a set of programs and protocols that allows user to create and display multimedia web pages and is linked to the internet. Multimedia web pages means whatever we see while using any website, using web browser software, say for example Google Chrome, Microsoft Internet, or Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. Okay, using those things, whatever we browse, that is known as web pages. And if we are seeing pictures, audio, video, then it is known as multimedia web page. Okay, so World Wide Web provides us to display multimedia web pages through the use of internet. So in short, what is www? It is a set of programs and protocols and allows user to create and display multimedia web pages and is linked to the internet. Okay. Next, www is an information service that can be used for sending and receiving information, okay, over the internet through interlinked hypertext documents. Interlinked hyper documents means using browser, any Google Chrome, any Internet Explorer, whatever we browse on these browsers, those are known as multimedia web pages, and those are having so many buttons, so many clickable words are there. When we click on that particular word or particular picture, it will open some another page, or it may download some files in our computer. Okay, those particular word or the pictures or those things are known as hyperlink, which we can click and then something happens. Those are known as hyperlink or hypertext. Okay, through those things we can send or receive information using these types of documents. It is also based upon client-server architecture. Client-server architecture means, okay, some websites are stored on server, main computer, and when we connect to internet, we also connected to those servers. How we can connect? Just we have to give some address, we have to give some website address. Then what happened? We get connected to the server computer and we are requesting some information from those servers, and the server respond to us, send some information and display it on the web browser. Okay, web browser. This type of architecture is known as client server architecture. We became clients and those are the servers, and in one server hundreds, thousands of clients can be connected at the same time, and the server is responsible to provide responses, provide text, provide web pages, provide multimedia details to all the clients. This type of structure is known as client server architecture. So World Wide Web is based upon this type of structure, that is known as client server architecture, where a client sends a request. What a client does? Client sends a request and the server processes that request and send responses. How we can send request? By just clicking on that hyperlink or the hypertext or some pictures, okay, or some menu options. We just click on them, it sends request to the server and servers responds with that particular material, particular information. Okay, this so it is a client server architecture. It is based on client server architecture. Okay, again, a www client is called a web browser and a server is called web server. Here the client, okay, we are using internet and we are with this internet we are asking some information, we are browsing some information, then some computer will become web browser, a client, and server is called web server. Okay, understood? Next, go to next topic. Next is Hypertext Markup Language. In short, we can say HTML. What is it? It is a markup language. Language means a communication system through which we can tell something to computer to do a particular task. Okay, this is a language. Okay, markup language, computer language that enables users to create web pages. Okay, using this HTML language we can design, we can create web pages and format those using predefined tags. Okay, during writing programs in HTML we have to use tags. We will go in detail here. We are just going to see what are those tags. Okay, so using HTML we can create web pages, and a collection of web pages is known as website. In short, we can create websites using this HTML language. Okay, now to work with HTML we have to work with tags. And what are those tags? Tags are called coded elements. This language tells the browser how to display text, pictures and links on the screen. HTML language, what it tells? It just tells browser or the client computer to how to display text, pictures and links. Means where to display, how much big the text will be there, how picture will be displayed. Okay, so many things we can design a page using HTML language. It is a language that supports multimedia document. Multimedia document means a page which can contain text, pictures, videos, audios, a combination of these mixture of these things. This type of page of information is known as multimedia documents. So HTML helps us and supports to make or create multimedia documents which can consist of audio, video, graphics, pictures, etc. It also helps in creating hyperlinks so that various documents can be linked together. Yes, hypertext markup language allows us to create hyperlinks, and those hyperlinks allows to browse some other pages or link some other things, other objects with a particular page, web page. Okay, through hyperlinks we can move to next page, go back to previous page like this. These are known as hyperlinks. Okay, now what is the structure of HTML document? We are going to learn HTML document. HTML document means the program which we write in HTML language is known as HTML document. And what is the structure of that HTML document? We have to see here. HTML document can be written using any text editor. Any text editor means even Notepad. Notepad we know. Just click on the start button, and in the Windows accessories you will find Notepad there, or you can simply type Notepad and it will open the Notepad. We will show you later. And save a file with the extension .html. Okay, to create HTML document or to write programs in HTML, we need to use Notepad. We can use Notepad. Okay, this is because it is a text editor, and write the program there, and when we go to save the file, we have to add this extension. What is the extension? .html or .htm. Any extension we have to add, any one of them. Okay, and it will create HTML document. And this document, when we open this HTML document, it will be opened in web browser. Okay, now any HTML document in general contains at least 3 elements. So to write programs in HTML, we can use any of these 3 elements, and these are also known as tags. These things are known as tags. HTML, head, body, these are the keywords or tags. These elements are specified by the following respective tags. And now how we have to write these tags? Like this. Okay, we have to write the tags like this. Okay, within angle bracket means less than and greater than symbol, we have to write the HTML word. And this is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. Okay, so both the tags make a complete instruction, complete command for the browser, and in between we have to write some other type of text, document, messages like this. Okay, whatever we want to display, we have to use within these opening and closing tags. So there are three tags: HTML tag, head tag. Head tag is also having opening and closing tag. Body tag is also having opening and closing tag. In closing tag we have to use angle bracket, and before writing the keyword HTML or head or body we have to use slash, forward slash. This makes the tag closing tag. And in opening tag there is nothing, just angle, within angle bracket we have to put the tag HTML head or body. Okay, it will through this we can create HTML document. Now we are going to show you one example. See here how we have to use all the tags. See, first we have to use the HTML tag, opening tag here, then opening tag of head tag, and then within title tag we have to use, and within title tag we can give a text message for the title, and this title will when we open this HTML document it will open in web browser, and in browser the title, this title goes to the top line of the page. Okay, and then we have to close the head tag. Here we have closed the tag. Here head is opened and then head is closed here. Now body tag is open, and body tag, within body tag whatever we write this will be displayed on the page of the browser. Now body tag, and within token whatever we have to write, we can write as much we want to write, we can write here, and the whole text will goes to the main page of the web page, okay, browser. And then we have to close the body tag. And then finally this HTML tag which we have opened at the starting of the HTML code, and then at the last we have to close this tag. Okay, like this we have to create HTML document. And these things it is said like this. What is the meaning of these things? See, within head tag, what is that? The items in the HTML head element are not shown in the browser except the title of the document, which is shown in the browser's title bar. Now within body body tag, what is that? This is the section that holds everything that is actually displayed. All the text, header, tables, etc. are written in the body tag. Okay, all the documents which we want to show on the page we have to write within this body tag, and then closing the HTML tag. See, when we write the program in Notepad, then browser will show like this. Okay. Now shall we do some practical? See how this HTML document is to be created and how it can be displayed in a web browser. Okay, so go to first start, then open Notepad, just type notepad, and it will come here. Now is in this Notepad we have to type the whole this code. Okay, we have already typed in a file. Just open, we are opening here the file. Okay, the file is HTML document, so we have to choose here all files. Then the name of the file is first. Okay, see, this we have typed here, HTML document, like this. The same message we have typed here, the code, same code. Now we have to save this file. Just go and save the file. Before giving any name, we are going to give here first. Okay, first.htm, and this will create the file. Okay, first.html file, and we have saved this file in my documents folder. So close this Notepad, no need now because we have saved this file. Then open any browser. Okay, just Microsoft Edge we are going to use. Okay, and in Microsoft Edge we have to open that HTML file. How we can open? Just press here Ctrl O. This will open it open dialog box, and here you will find that first page, first.html file. Okay, hypertext markup language file. Then click on open. Now what you are seeing here, it is displaying the heading. This is my first page, and the message in the body section, this is the page, web page. It is saying, displaying I am writing my first page using HTML language. Okay, so you understood that how we have to write HTML document and how we have to display in browser. Okay, for further details, or if you want to learn more and more about HTML language, you can refer some HTML course or book, and from there you can learn. Okay, for now in syllabus we have to learn up to this much. So we are moving to next topic, Extensible Markup Language, that is XML. What is this XML? It is you can say that it is an advanced version of HTML language. It is similar to HTML language, but it is having some more features. See, what are those things? XML is a markup language for creating documents in a structured format. Okay, it is not for not to create web pages, but it can create documents in a structured format to keep some information, to keep some record based information. XML is created for that purpose. Users can create their own tags in XML. Actually in HTML there are predefined tags, means you have to use those particular tags which we have shown, but in XML we can create our own tags with our own names. We can mention any name, okay, along with predefined tags. Okay, some predefined tags are also there, and we can use our own tags also with our own name. In XML the tags are not predefined, rather they are created by the user for their own purpose. Okay, we can create with our own name using that tags. Unlike HTML, in XML tags are case sensitive. Okay, in HTML you can write a small letter or capital letter, both are same, but in XML it is case sensitive. If you are using capital letters, always you have to use capital letters. If you are using a small letter, always you have to use a small letter. Okay, it is case sensitive. It differentiates between capital letters and small letters, and each tag must have corresponding closing tag. Okay, so opening tag and closing tag, we know closing tag just it is and one added letter, that is forward slash letter is there. So if we are using in XML, same method is to be used. We have to use each and every closing tag also. XML was designed to carry data and not to display data. Okay, see, it is used to carry data, means we can create XML document to keep some data here, record based data. Say for example, student information, employees information. Okay, these type of details or data which are having multi fields. Okay, students roll number, name, okay, class, how many marks is got, address, phone number, these things, type of data can be carried, can be stored using XML language. XML is recommended by the World Wide Web Consortium, which is also known as W3C, and it is free and open standard. XML can be used freely. There is no charge, there is no any type of fee which you have to pay. It is free of cost. Okay. Now, what is the structure of HTML documents? See, this type of structure it is having in XML. We have created our own tags here: client ID, client name, and client company. These three tags we have created, and these three tags is combined as a section using client. Okay, and within client we are using 3 different tags, and each opening tag is matched with the closing tag. Okay, and then one client is when completed with all the information put here, then another tag, another type of another information we can store here with the same type of tags, client ID, client name, company, like this. Okay, same client ID, client name, company, and same type of information, other information we can store here. Okay, and then the opening tag must be predefined tag, that is XML, and the opening and the closing tag must be /XML. This is the format of XML document. It is used to store this information. Okay, now we have moved to next topic, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP. HTTP is used to transfer all files and other data, collectively called resources, from one computer to another on World Wide Web. World Wide Web means internet, okay, or through web pages, internet websites, through websites. Okay, each and every website is using this type of protocol that is known as Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This protocol is used to transfer hypertext documents over the internet. Hypertext, what is hypertext document? All the web pages, all the websites is created using this type of hypertext document, and the document which is created using HTML language is known as hypertext documents. So HTTP protocol is able to transfer this type of document over the internet. Okay, this HTML documents over the internet. This protocol is very much helpful for HTML document or the hypertext document. HTTP defines how the data is formatted and transmitted over the network. When an HTTP client, a browser, sends a request to an HTTP server, then the server sends responses back to the client. Okay, so if we are opening some web pages, then this protocol is used, and this protocol carries your request to the web server, and then web server gives some responses which is again carried by this protocol, HTTP protocol, and it will be displayed on your client, that is on the browser. This transfer of request and transfer responses is done with the help of HTTP protocol. Okay, this transfer and request responses is done by HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol is responsible for carrying your request to the server, and whatever the responses is given by the server, it has to, HTTP is again responsible to carry those responses back to our browser. Okay, now next, the main features of HTTP document. What is it? Is a stateless protocol. Stateless protocol means there is no connection okay, between the client and the server. Okay, all the time. Okay, it is stateless, then connectionless. It is also called connectionless. Means once the request is done by the client, then this request is communicated to the web server, and web server responses some messages or some information which is carried back to the client, and only one step is at the time communicated at the time, and then session completes, means its state is complete. Okay, this means that several commands are executed simultaneously without knowing the command which is already executing before another command. Which as many requests we can send to server, and server give responses, but they don't know how many commands is coming from where. Okay, what are the sequences, they don't know. This is known as stateless protocol. It is an object-oriented protocol that uses client-server model. We know that HTTP or HTML, whatever server and a client is there, then it is known as client-server model. Okay, and it is also object-oriented protocol. The browser client sends requests to the server, and the server processes it and sends responses to the client. We already know. Okay, this is the way www also works. In the same way HTTP is working. It is used for displaying web pages on the screen. Okay, it is used for displaying web pages on the screen. For that purpose it is responsible. Okay, now we have come to next topic, that is domain names. What is domain name? See, to communicate over the internet we can use IP addresses, which is a sequence of numbers separated by dots. IP addresses. And to communicate with the internet, IP addresses is to be need. Okay, through IP addresses internet communicates with each other. Okay, the number of nodes, whatever the number of nodes is connected with the internet, each and every node is having one IP address, and this IP address is a sequence of numbers separated by dot. We will learn later more about IP addresses, but for the time here we just know that it is a sequence of numbers separated by dots. But it is not possible to remember the IP address. IP address is a number, okay, sequence of number, lots of number is there. Okay, so to remember those numbers is very much difficult for us. Okay, for a particular website, okay, each and every website is also having IP address. Say for example cbse.nic.in, navodaya.gov.in, these are having IP address, but we are typing what we want to open those website, then we have to write cbse.nic.in, navodaya.gov.in. okay, this type of name we have to type. Instead of this name, computer knows the number only, IP addresses they knows, and this name is known as domain name. This name given to IP address is known as domain name. See here, domain names make it easier to resolve IP addresses into names. For example, cbse.nic.in, google.com, meritnation.com, these are the names given to IP addresses. Okay, it is the system which assigns names to some computers, web servers, and maintains a database of these names and corresponding IP addresses. Domain name is responsible to assign names for some particular IP addresses, and it keeps all the IP addresses for the corresponding names, domain names. This is the work of domain name. Parts of the domain name. What are the parts of domain name? See here, domain names are used in URLs to identify particular web servers. Okay, the name, say for example here www.cbse.nic.in is known as URL. This is known as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. That's the address on the internet. It is the address on the internet to get some particular information. Say for example cbse.nic.in welcome.html. This is a URL, and it tells the computer to show the welcome page of this website. Now the domain name here, the different parts we are discussing. The domain name here is cbse.nic.in. And what are the other parts? See, the domain name consists of the following parts: top level domain name or the primary domain name and subdomain name. For example, see here example that in the domain name cbse.nic.in, in is the primary domain name. In is the primary domain name, and nic is the subdomain of in, and cbse is the subdomain name of nic. means the rightmost name is the main primary domain name, and next is the subdomain, and again next is the subdomain of the previous one. This is the system or parts of the domain name. Now depending on the domain name, so many categories of websites is categorized. See here, the generic domain names. .com, if a website is having .com, it means that this website is related to commercial business. If it is having .edu, then it means it is educational institutions. If it is having .gov, government agencies, .mil, military, .net, network organization, .org, organization, non-profit organization, and some country specific domain name is also there. .in means India, AU Australia, CA Canada, CH China, NZ New Zealand, PK Pakistan, JP Japan, US United States of America. So using this domain name, we can understand this which category of the website is that. Uniform Resource Locator, URL. We have used this word URL so many times in previous topics. Now we are going to learn this URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, that stores the address of a web page. Okay, each and every web page of a website which are already stored on server or website is created, then this web page is having one address, and that address is known as URL. Okay, it helps in locating a particular website or web page. For example, this is an example of URL. See, www.cbse.nic.in/academics.html we have given. So academics page is having this complete URL. To go directly to this page of website, CBSE website, then we have to type the whole this URL. Then we can open directly that particular page, academic page. Is a URL for a specific website. In this URL, what it means, HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and C www.cbse.nic.in indicates the IP address or the domain name where the source is located. It is the domain name where the source page is located. Now academics.html specifies the name of the specified HTML document on the website of CBSE. HTML, okay, academics.html is a specific page on this website, on this CBSE website. So the complete URL of a particular web page is this, like this. This is, now come to IP address. IP address. IP address, what is this? IP address is short for Internet Protocol IP address. The full form of IP is Internet Protocol address. An IP address is an identifier for a computer or device on a TCP/IP network and is used to uniquely identify it on a network. Okay, to why is this IP address is given to each and every computer connected with the internet? Because in internet, each and every computer is to be uniquely identified. For that purpose, each and every computer which is connected to internet, which is connected with the network, then this each and every computer or node is having a particular IP address to uniquely identify it. So this is the address. For that purpose, it identifies a particular computer, that this computer is having this IP address and this IP address belong to that computer, like this. Networks using TCP/IP protocol route messages based on IP address, and some information is to be sent to that particular computer. Then for that purpose, IP address is used. Okay, the format of IP address is a 32-bit numeric code. It is a 32-bit numeric address written as four numbers separated by periods or dots. 4 numbers we have to write, and each number is separated by dots. Each number can go from 0 to 255. From 0 to 255 each number may contain. For example, IP addresses may be like this: 192.168.1.2 or 10.124.1.3 or 109.134.2.2, like this. These are the examples of IP address. The IP address of a computer is assigned by the internet service provider. Internet service provider, whose internet connection is used on that computer. Okay, if whatever the internet service provider you are using, it may be Airtel, it may be Jio, it may other type of network, BSNL, then they are responsible to provide you IP address when you get connected to the internet with those those service providers. Okay, they are responsible for the IP address. They give you IP address as and when you connect to the internet. It is automatically processed. Okay, and automatically gives each one a new number, new IP address. Okay, steps to find IP address. Suppose we want to find IP address of our computer. When we connect to the internet, we want to know our IP address, then this is the step here. We can find out the IP address of our computer by performing the following step. Just click on the start button. A pop-up menu containing various options appears. Then go to run dialog box and type CMD. Okay, command prompt will come, or simply just go to start button and type the CMD. Okay, say for example like this. Just go to start button and type CMD. It will open you command prompt. This is the command prompt. Here what you have to do, type ipconfig and press enter key. The output appears displaying IP address of your computer. Just here you have to write ipconfig and press enter key. It will display you the IP address. Okay, and it will display only when your computer is connected with the internet. Then only it will display you the IP address. Okay, now the steps to find the IP address continues here. When you type the word or the command ipconfig, it will display you this message, like this message, and the IP address will be displayed like this: 192.168.1.2. okay, this is the IP address for your computer. Okay, it will be displayed like this. Just you have to type here in the command prompt ipconfig. Okay, then it will display you the IP address like this, and you can find your computer IP address. Now come to website. What is a website? We have talked a lot about website. Now understand how we can define it. What is the definition of a website? A website is a collection of various web pages. And what is a web pages? Web pages is a collection of images, videos, audios, other kinds of digital assets that are hosted on one or several web servers. Okay, so a website is a collection of web pages, and each web page may contain image, video, audio, like this, digital text, message. This in the mixed up collection of these things is known as, and its collection is known as website. The first page of a website is known as home page. If you type a website cbse.nic.in without giving any particular page name, then it will open a page, front page, that is known as the home page, where all the links related to the other documents are displayed. In the home page you will find all the details of other pages also. The web pages of a website are written using HTML language. We have discussed about this thing, that each and every pages of internet or website is written in HTML language, and the information is transferred over the internet through HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol we have talked about. Okay, this protocol is used to transfer or receive messages or the details, responses or the request from the web server. HTML document consists of several hyperlinks that are accessed through HTTP protocol, and the examples of various websites are cbse.nic.in, google.com, amazon.in. These are the examples of website, and it contains so many hyperlinks. Okay, clickable text, the clickable pictures. When you click on those things, it will open another page or do some other type of action. Now come to web page. We already know that a web page is an electronic document page designed using HTML language. A web page is designed using HTML language. It displays information in textual, graphical form. Okay, traversal from one web page to another web page is possible through hyperlink. If you want to go to another page, then you have to click any hyperlink, okay, that particular hyperlink, then it will open that particular web page. Now a web page can be classified in two types. Two types of pages are there. Web pages are there. First is known as static web page and another one is known as dynamic web page. Now see what is static web page. A web page which displays same kind of information when a user visits. Okay, as and whenever you open the web page of a static web page, then each time it will display you same type of information, same kind of information. This is known as a static web page. A static web page generally has .htm or HTML as extension. Okay, whatever the HTML file we have created, HTML document or the web page we have created using HTML language, those all web pages are automatically become a static page. Now what is dynamic page? See, an interactive web page is a dynamic web page. A dynamic web page uses a scripting language to display changing content on the web page. Changing content means if you click some button, it will display another type of information. Okay, some menu is there, some options may be there. Okay, some searching system is there. Those are known as dynamic web page. And messages or text is changeable, well after some time. Then this is known as dynamic page. And these such a page generally has .php extension, .asp or JSP as extension, and these web pages are written using a scripting language like JavaScript, VB-script. Okay, scripting language is used to prepare dynamic web pages, and if you are using HTML language, then that web page will become a static web page. Now most of the websites are mostly having static web pages. Even say for example CBSE contains static pages, more of them. Now web browser, it is a software that helps us in accessing web pages, and thus it is called web client. It is also called web client. Web browser example, say for example Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox. These are examples of web browser, and what it does, we have to type just website name, okay, and it allows us to display the web pages of that particular website, and it is a software which is installed in our computer, which should be installed in our computer to work with that thing. Okay, and this web browser is also known as web client or simply client, we can say. It helps the user to navigate through the World Wide Web and display web pages. Some popular web browsers are Mozilla Firefox, Opera, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, etc. Web server. We have talked much about web server. What is this? A web server is a server that stores web pages, and when a web client is sending any request to a server responds to the request and display the requested web pages. Actually, web server hosts all the web pages of a particular website, or a web server may contain lots of websites, lots of web pages of those websites. So, and these web servers are always on 24/7, always on, switched on. They are working, okay, they are always connected with the internet. And whenever we from our own computer, own mobile, we open web browser and type those websites, then we are requesting to the server to show that web page, and then this request goes to the web server, and web server sends you, responses you with that particular web page or the information. This is the method of web server. This is the work of web server. Web server hosts all the websites. Okay. Responsible. Now, a web server is a program that runs on a computer connected to the internet. Web server is a program that runs on a computer connected to the internet. So here what it is saying, that if you want to make your computer as a web server, then you have to, means each and every web server is having a particular type of software or program, and those program or those software is known as server program. Okay, internet server program. And we can also make our computer as a server if we have installed that type of software. Okay, so web server is a type of program also. Web server waits for a request, finds the document and generates information if required, and sends back to the browser that requested it. So web server is responsible to request a response, the request coming from the client system, and sends back the information or the pages which he or she requested. Now, some popular web servers are, if we want to make our computer as a server, then we have to install this type of server softwares, and those server softwares are Apache Web Server, Netscape Enterprise Web Server, Microsoft Internet Information Server. Okay, any one of them, install any one of them, your system, your computer will become as a web server. Okay, and you can host a website and other communicate or send requests to your computer, and your computer, this software, with the help of this software, will respond to those clients with web pages or the information they need. Okay. Now, web hosting. Web hosting is a service which is provided by companies to its clients to allow them to construct their own websites which are accessible to the internet users via World Wide Web. Now, some requisites is there. A web server must be connected to internet all the time, and it must be switched on. And this facility can provide a particular company which allows for web hosting. Okay, you may have heard about GoDaddy or some type of other type of names like this, and those companies allows us to host our website on their server. Okay, so that our websites will be available 24/7 all the time. Okay. Now, web hosting is a service which is provided by companies to its clients to allow them to construct their own websites which are accessible to the internet users via World Wide Web. Okay, if you want to be your website, then you have to contact to these companies. Okay, to host your website. Such companies are also known as web host. These companies provide space on their web server they own for use by their clients, as well as provide internet connectivity. Okay, they provide you some space on their web server to save your web pages or the files on their computer. The host may also provide an interface or control panel for managing web server so as to add news and events related to their organization for uploading some information which may be valuable for the internet users. Okay, they are also the host or web host companies are also responsible to provide you particular system or software which allows you to control your website, add new messages, add new pages, so particular information, okay, how your websites looks like or what features they will allow. Okay, these systems they will provide you in your, and you can install those features in your computer, and through remotely you can control your website. Okay, and features you want to add, you can add later also. This is the features of web hosting. Now, domain name resolution, DNR. What is this? See, when we use URL to access a website, our computer needs to find its matching IP address. We know that each and every computer on the internet is having a particular IP address. So a website is also having a particular IP address, and when we are typing URL for a particular website, it needs to be converted to that matching IP address, and this domain name resolution allows us to do that. DNR is the name given to the process by which a computer finds IP address of domain names. Okay, so the domain name is resolved according to the configuration of the operating system we are using. Different operating systems such as Windows 8, 10, Linux and Unix have different configurations. Okay, different type of configurations are there, and accordingly matching IP addresses to be found using domain name resolution. Then so many topics we have learned. Okay, what is web server, web pages, website, web browser, web hosting, okay, HTML, HTTP, www, okay, XML. So many topics we have learned. Now this chapter comes to end here. That is networking, security concepts, web services concepts, okay, and the overall computer networking, types of networking. This chapter comes to ends here. Thank you very much for your patience and listening. Thank you. Now have a sip of your choice of coffee with all of us. We will be very much delighted. We will feel very happy if you have a sip of your choice of coffee with all of us.